Wow, finally got it to turn red. Been having troubles with my Logitech here. Anyways, YouTube, hello, Jonathan Buford here, coming to you again with my weekly video on Stuff Digital Nomad. Today we are going to talk about the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferris. What can I say about this book that hasn't been said about sliced bread? Chris the Freelancer talks about this book being the Digital Nomad's Bible. And I get why he says that, because there's just so much good information in here about the mobile lifestyle. In fact, here's a quote by Jack Canfield, really famous author. I'm sure you guys have heard about Chicken Soup for the Soul. He says, "It's about time this book was written. It is a long overdue manifesto for the mobile lifestyle." Those are the words we had back then. We didn't have Digital Nomad. And Tim Ferris is the ideal ambassador. This will be huge. So this book is 2009. It's, what is it now? It's almost 10 years old, almost 9 years old, but it's still really, really relevant. And I found it on stumbleupon.com back in 2009, and it lit me on fire. It lit me on fire. So glad I read it, and you know, it took me another 7 or 8 years to get into doing what I'm doing now, which is working towards becoming a digital nomad. But in the meantime, what it did for me was to change my thinking and to give me a whole new idea of what was possible. And you know, it was a thought paradigm changing book for me. And I'm glad I have it today, because me and my wife are still using it. There's all kinds of stuff in here depending on where you're at and where you're trying to get to. And this guy, Tim Ferris, I believe wrote this book out of a breakdown, really. The guy was working on Wall Street. He's a bipolar. He's running this business, this supplement company, returning thousands of emails. He's beside himself, right? And then he has a breakdown, and he's like, you know what, dude, I'm over it. This doesn't work. Like, I don't want this. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, and I believe he's doing that now. I'm still into Tim Ferris' stuff. I just actually ordered his summary of his book, The 4-Hour Body, because there's a bottleneck in my workouts, and I know, dude, this guy, like, he loves the hack. He loves finding new cutting edge information. The guy figured out a new way to swim, you know? He's one of those types. You know, when we think we've got everything figured out, which we usually don't, you know, this guy's willing to go out and do the research and the work that it takes to change all that. There's a chapter in here called Rules That Change the Rules. Everything popular is wrong. And from my research and my experience in life, I couldn't think of anything right now that's more true. So we are conditioned in the States, at least I know, to like go get good grades at school, get a college degree, go work for some company, and wage slave your way up to retirement, basically. And I've never really believed in all that. I've never really believed in the office and the cubicle and the regular ways people do things. So when I read this book, I was like, oh my gosh, not only does this guy feel the same way as me, he wrote a whole book about, it's basically non-conformity. It's non-conformity. It's how to move your income online. And basically live a mobile lifestyle. It's about changing your thinking. It's about, you know, minimalism. There's stuff in here on psychology. There's stuff in here. He's got worksheets in here. It's really, really good. And I'm glad I have the book now, like I said, because it's still helping us. There's a couple quotes in here. This is chapter 14, mini retirements. He talks about how retirements don't, work anymore. The math doesn't work, and people are getting screwed over for their, what are they called? You know, when you get paid after you work for a long time, your pension or whatever. Those things are kind of disappearing, and you can't really count on them anymore. And he says the math for retirements don't work. So he talks about Chapter 14, Mini Retirements and Embracing the Mobile Lifestyle. I'm telling you, this book is packed with good stuff. Quote, before the development of tourism, travel was conceived to be like study, and its fruits were considered to be the adornment of the mind and the formation of the judgment. Paul Fussell, Abroad. Here's a quote below it, and each chapter starts with great quotes like this. You just know that this guy has had a quality experience, through a lot of pain and suffering. I'm telling you, it's almost always a part of it from what I've seen. Quote, the simple willingness to improvise is more vital in the long run than research. Rolf Potts, Vagabonding, and which is another great book I might do a review of. So, yeah, it's just filled full of stuff that will, I think, set you on fire and give you inspiration if this is actually what you want to do. And then it's up to you to keep the commitment and to do the work. And that's the tough part. Getting up every day after the inspiration of the 4-hour work week has worn off, and you still need to get up and make a YouTube video. Even though you're planning a camping trip, you need to go pick up firewood, you need to pack your bags, you've got all this other stuff going on. You still sit down and do your YouTube video. So, a lot of hustle, a lot of work. The title of the book for me, I don't know where I'm going as far as learning to code and then being able to use that as freelance work, being able to get work while I travel, while I continue to learn code and work on my YouTube business here and stuff. I don't know that that's going to work for me, and I would rather look at it like, find a job that you kind of like. So you might want to work more than 4 hours a week. I like building businesses and watching them grow and stuff like that. So 4 hours probably isn't going to work for me. But if you are in Bali, or if you're in a little island on Indonesia or in Chiang Mai, Thailand, in really, really fun places, isn't a 30 or 40 hour work week not that bad? So you could use that logic to kind of get around the skeptical, that kind of cynical thinking of like, oh yeah, right, 4 hours, da, da, da. That can happen with passive income over time after you've built it out and done all the work. You can get to a place where you only work 4 hours a week if that's what you want to do. Guess why? Because anything's possible. With hard work and belief, you can believe how powerful belief is. You like that one? So with hard work and believing, you can actually just work 4 hours a week. But I will probably be working more than that. So enough about the book. It's good. I recommend it. If you're going to be a digital nomad, I would not even try to do that without buying this book, really, because it's super famous. When he came out with this in 2009, he was having it was kind of like a giveaway thing, challenge for people to go mobile and move their income online. And there was, I think, a large sum of money that he was offering people for the number one, person that like crushed it or whatever. I saw a dude living out of a backpack. I saw parents. I saw a young parents with 2 children. So this can be done even if you have kids. We have a dog, so I don't know what we're gonna do with Bean back there, but we might have to put him in a shipping container for the first, I don't know how long period of time that we do this. So super good. I think I talked about this on my first video, but I haven't done a review yet. And man, there's just not a better book out there on becoming a digital nomad that I've seen. There's other good books on essentialism and other things, and like I'll be doing some of the reviews of some of the books on my short list as time goes on. But that's about it for time on the 4-hour work week. I will leave the link below. Now I want to talk about the best video that I've found on YouTube on being a digital nomad. And I think lately you'll see videos on like the digital nomad scam, Let me explain to you something. When it comes to anything that gets popularity and it starts to gain traction and it becomes a big thing, there's always going to be people out there who aren't that honest, who are going to be putting garbage out there just to get paid. So the scams are everywhere. Just do your research and don't worry about it. And I mention that because I've been doing searches for digital nomad videos lately, and there's like digital nomad scam, da 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 da. Scams are always happening. There's people who are scammers. That's what they do. They're crushing it at scamming, which is not really crushing it, but that's what they do. So every time I put a video out, there's some garbage comments that people put out there trying to like get me to, I don't know what, get their music that they want to give me for my videos or whatever. But yeah, just be smart, do your research. So this video that I found is from a very nice person called Zoey Arielle, and I'll leave the link below. I don't remember the name of the video. I will remember to put the link down there. But it was just about 5 minutes or so, maybe 8 minutes of her going off on what is needed to do this, to go mobile, to move your income online, you know, being on a beautiful island and keeping your work ethic and the commitment that it takes to like not snorkel that day and do your work, and the rest of the stuff like getting the skills that you need, reaching out, building a presence online, building your brand. And it's just so well done. I sat there and I was amazed that the content was so clean and clear and real. You know, anything that's worth anything is going to take a lot of work. And I think I'm finally learning that, thank goodness gracious, because it keeps me continuing to make these videos and doing all the things that I'm doing to grow my business while learning to code. And I've got school starting in 2 weeks. So yeah, I've just learned that this stuff takes a lot of work, and I think this video that she made is super good. I think you'll like it, and if you have a playlist for videos like that, it'll make the playlist. I have a playlist, and I keep all of my favorite digital nomad videos on it so that I can go back to it and, you know, share it with you guys, because let's face it, I haven't done the deal yet. I've lived down in Costa Rica twice. I've been to Panama, Nicaragua, Mexico, you know, love Hawaii, still the States, but I've done a little bit of travel and worked while I was down there, but I've never done this, moving my income online and traveling full time. So she's doing it. She's doing a good job at it. She's also a minimalist, and I don't mind sharing videos for you guys, you know, just because this, you know, it might not be on your radar. So, and I think they're really, really helpful. She's got more info and more experience period on this subject. So shout out to her. I'm gonna give that yeah, I'm gonna make the link below so that you guys can just click on it. And next week I'm going to, hopefully, I ordered my Samsung 850 EVO 500 gig solid state drive, and I'm going to do a video on how easy, hopefully, it will be to pull out my noisy, warmth making, now slow hard drive on my Asus laptop and replacing it with the solid state drive, so it boots up Photoshop, so it boots up Microsoft Word, so it boots up, well, my video games super fast, and makes your computer brand new, increases the speeds up to like 20 times. And I've done a lot of research on this, and I think I can do it in a way that'll be easy, that'll remove any kind of fear and intimidation. It won't be a how-to video as far as like the technical stuff. I'm just gonna tell you about the steps that I took, and I've researched, I think, the best way to do this easily, and I'll leave links to videos that do show that. So excited about next week. I think it'll be good. I love technology. I love fast computers. If you're a digital nomad, you probably have a computer, so it would, you know, would really help to speed up your computer, especially if you've had it for like 4 years. You get it and it's fast, and then you have it for a while and it's slow. So that sucks. No one wants a slow computer. I don't. So I think you guys will like it. And that's about it. I hope you guys had a good week, and I will check you guys out next week. Don't forget to check out the Zoey Arielle video, and I'll have the link for the 4-hour work week below. Not affiliated, making no money off this, just as a disclaimer. I'm not trying to sell anything, just trying to provide good content. yeah, all right. If you like the video, please do so. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do that as well, because it would really help me out. My subscribers are growing slowly, and I appreciate all the people that have helped me get to where I am, which is above 0. And yeah, please subscribe. It would help me. You guys have a good day. Bye-bye.